We are fresh off of the latest episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I am rocking my official Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tee. Thank you, Lisa.
Love it.
We finally made it to Aspen.
I noticed that they were doing like a countdown leading up to the plane ride, and it was like 2 days before Aspen, 1 day before Aspen. And it's like, okay, it's going to be a good trip when they're like literally doing a countdown for it.
Oh, for sure. So we're counting down to Aspen the day after the Rinna Beauty disco party.
And then we get this visit from Diana to Garcelle's house, where Diana shows up in the backwards jumpsuit.
This is back to front.
What?
I think this is the most that I've enjoyed Diana the entire season. She's hungover. She,
The
sent in
Bosnian is
Ghostbuster.
here.
The Bosnian's here. She sent in Ghostbusters to ahead of time to her hotel rooms.
I send in Ghostbusters to cleanse the energy.
Like an exorcism.
That's just the kind of like absurdity that I want in my housewives. I did a counter for how many times Diana licked her lips in that scene alone with Garcelle. 10. In like the 2 minutes that we saw on the TV screen.
She can't help herself. It's just
it's
this
so weird.
And I just got to say, let's hope we don't have to endure this next season, because it's something that I'll never not notice Diana licking her lips.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly. So Ghostbusters like threw me for a loop, but I feel like that's a sign that you have too much money. Let's give some of it to like homeless and toothless.
It's homeless, not toothless.
Kathy Hilton has a lot of money. She wouldn't be caught dead doing this.
I don't know. I was into it. I was like, Garcelle, is it ridiculous? Yes. Do I want to do it? Yes.
Yes. And I love Garcelle's honesty there. Whatever floats her boat.
We see Kyle and Mauricio in their backyard.
I did find it funny how much she said the word plane in this scene.
Did you hear back from the plane people?
But Kim, did you know that Kyle got the private plane for everyone?
I think Kyle got the plane.
Is the plane set, ready to go?
I'm pretty sure the plane's coming, and it's coming because of Kyle.
Plane is super set.
But did Mauricio schedule the plane?
We've got a great plane.
Just she wants credit where credit's due, I guess.
I feel like it's like one of her only contributions of the season at this point, and other than stirring the pot.
Although if Kyle's responsible for this Aspen trip, and if Aspen's going to be amazing, then, she'll have contributed that as well. But
True.
Okay, so this is going to sound super snobby, and I've never been on a private plane before. But when they all got on that plane with all of their coats and like heavy winter garments and the dog and everything, I felt very claustrophobic. And I was like, I need a bigger plane. Like, so squished in that plane. And I was like, why does it feel so small?
I feel that. So what? We have 8 full-time women, and then we have Kathy and Cherie. So is that 10? And then we have Mauricio, and then we have the camera crew.
And the dog.
So how many people are on this tiny private plane?
But Kathy didn't fly with them. Because Kyle was saying, oh, Nikki just texted me, my niece, and said, oh, I just dropped mom off at the airport. It felt like I was leaving an infant at the curb.
That's right. And then we have Kathy arriving at the Aspen house in slippers, in pajamas.
Like hotel room slippers, like not even like, Fendi slippers or something. It's like literally the free slippers that they have in the hotel room.
I think they had like a stain on them too.
Those are your shoes? You went to the airports like that?
I think they were like kind of dirty, and Kyle was like,
what if people recognize you?
They don't.
I just love it.
She could not give 2 Fs. Like,
no,
she is who she is, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of her. So I just want to give a shout out to Queens by Bravo, because I think we need to just note where everybody is staying, which houses they're staying in, because I think that does play a part in the Aspen storyline coming up. So we have Erica Rinna, Kyle, and Kathy at Kyle's house.
Mhm.
Then we have Dorit, Garcelle, Sutton, Crystal, and Cherie at the rental house, which is,
Mhm.
I mean, breathtaking.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
Diana, again, on her own island in a hotel. We first see the ladies arriving at Kyle's house, and I love how she's giving them a tour, and then she gets out to the balcony and realizes the Christmas lights are still up there.
The Christmas lights are supposed to be taken down.
Well, don't take the Christmas lights down
No,
now.
this has to come down.
Oh my God. You could tell she was like mortified and like livid at whoever the house manager is that they left those up.
I know. It's like Erica's like, it's fine. It's fine. No, I have to take these down right now.
Is this a good idea to take the lights down now?
Yeah, these cannot
hold
be
on.
down now.
Okay.
She was like tearing it off the, off the balcony.
She was about to like rip a shingle off. Like she was so aggressive about it. The juxtaposition between the editors going from Kyle's house, where they're ripping Christmas lights off, to the rental house that has a chef and everything's perfect, and the house manager.
Hi.
Oh
He's
my
got
God.
some snacks prepared for you in
Wow.
here. Yeah.
I just loved that cutting back and forth.
Yeah, that house looks insane. Like, how much does
Amazing.
that cost to rent per night? It's gorgeous.
Then we have Kathy arrive at Kyle's house, which anytime Kathy just enters a scene, I just start smiling instantly. And I feel like the editors start playing this
Kind of like quirky
music.
music.
Hi, honey. How are you? Ooh, wow.
Exactly, to like signify, okay, Kathy's here. So she tells us that she's had like 3 hours of sleep in 4 days. Let's just take a guess. Like, what do you think she's been doing? Has she just been having trouble sleeping? What's going on there?
I want to think that she's out traveling someplace.
Behind the DJ booth with Paris.
Maybe she was in Mykonos with Paris, partying till 4 a.m. In reality, it's probably that she has like insomnia or something.
I know, but I like to think she does live this glamorous life too. And then, so Kyle gives her literally the worst room in the house. And like, I'm sorry, no wonder they don't have a relationship anymore. Like, Kyle, this is not only your sister, but this is Kathy Hilton. Like, give her a decent room.
I mean, it's not like it's a big house. She can afford a hotel.
Yeah, and she's really trying to sell it.
And Lexa says these are the most comfortable beds in the house. She literally chooses this over her room.
She chooses the bunk beds over her room. And she was like, oh, yeah, this is fine. And like, she just surprises me.
It's like
So,
Kyle
yeah.
was trying to get a rise out of her, and then like Kathy didn't give it to her.
I kind of like this.
Yeah, it was a very interesting choice. Was it just because Kathy got there last? I don't know.
And sometimes, you know, in Housewives history, the women like use like what they're experiencing as an excuse to like get the good room. So if we take a head count, Lisa Rinna is grieving. Erica Jane is going through whatever she's going through. So I guess that leaves Kathy with like nothing bad
the bunk
happening to
beds.
her. So
Yet. I mean, if that had been Ramona Singer and Kyle tried to give her those bunk beds, oh, hell no.
no,
There is
effing
no
way.
way.
I didn't come here. I can live in the attic.
And then Kathy shares her skiing tactics on the slopes. And it's something that totally boggled my mind as well as the rest of the women, how she kind of like, I don't know, holds her poles out to the side to scare everybody.
I'll put my poles out like this.
For what reason?
I scare people.
It's like, wait, what?
I wish I could witness that in real life.
I know. Like, are we going to get to see her skiing? Because like now I really want to see it.
On next week's episode, but she said she has a bad knee, remember? So she's
Oh, right,
probably not
right.
going to go skiing. So
Mm.
then they all gather around for dinner. We have the ladies arriving to Kyle's house. Mauricio is grilling. And again, Kathy has this food moment that just cracked me up about the corn. She was obsessing over the corn of all things.
Can't we grill the corn? It doesn't take long.
We got this.
But can't we grill it?
She wanted it grilled,
Yeah.
yet when Mauricio was like, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want, she looks at him like, excuse me?
You can do whatever you want.
Has she like ever cooked a meal for herself in her entire life, or at least in the last 20, 30 years since she's been married? So, I
Yeah.
mean, Mauricio, I feel like that was totally shade thrown at Kathy. And then she's, oh, the corn's not cooked enough.
Corn's not cooked.
Where's the butter for the corn?
Where's the butter for the corn?
Where the f***'s the butter for the corn?
What, do we have utensils?
I mean,
Oh.
where are the napkins?
Which
I have a
steak should I
napkin?
choose?
Do you think I give two which steak you pick?
Which steak should I choose? Oh my God.
She's incapable of doing anything for herself, yet, like you said last episode, like it's kind of endearing and I kind of love her for it. It's
I
like
know.
just authentically Kathy,
She's an enigma and I love it.
wrapped in a riddle and
Wrapped in-
cash. Then we have the ladies break out the Ouija board. Nothing good ever comes from a Ouija board. Like, why? Why break that out?
Have you ever done a Ouija board?
I mean, when I was a teenager at a sleepover,
Yeah. But they do kind of scare me weirdly too.
I ain't doing no damn Ouija board.
they're a little scary, but in this instance, I think Kyle was just using it as a mechanism to yet again stir the pot.
Why did Garcelle unfollow Eric on Instagram?
Nobody else was asking questions. It was like Kyle had this plan all along.
She must have told Rinna, like, hey, there's a Ouija board in your room. You should bring it out here.
Look what I found in my room.
What do you think about Garcelle unfollowing Erica? I think that that's fair. I think that Garcelle has just had it with Erica. She's over it. They've, tried to mend, their relationship so many times. And at this point, she's like, when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I don't want Erica to be in my feed. That's it.
I mean, it made sense to me. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Erica didn't even seem to really care. It was Kyle who cared.
But I did understand where Sutton was coming from. Like, why are they making such a big deal about the unfollowing on Instagram? Yet they didn't make such a big deal about Erica calling Sutton, see you next Tuesday, even though also that happened, like a year before. But still, the things they pick and choose to latch on to, like, don't always make sense.
No, and it's never going to make sense.
I also like how Erica and Garcelle are continuing to go at it. And Garcelle, yet again, always has these 100% responses.
You were repeating it, yeah?
Yeah, but I also repeated it to you.
Like anything that Erica says to her, she has the perfect answer.
When?
When we had drinks.
And she says at the end of the day that Erica is controlling her own narrative. Garcelle is not changing Erica's narrative. None of these ladies have control over Erica's narrative. And it's true. I mean, Erica's digging her own grave. These women have nothing to do with it.
It's like Erica calling Garcelle a liar. Like, that is a stretch. And I'm with Kathy. Like, I just don't like that word. I don't like when people and housewives are so free to use it. It's like someone tells a story differently and they're like, you're a liar. And it's like, calling someone a liar, I just feel like is ugly. And so I can see why, Garcelle was kind of pissed. If you don't want people to see you a certain way, then act differently.
There are 3 things that I don't like being called.
A liar, a thief, and a pedophile. To me,
What? Where did that come from? Like, I mean, obviously no one wants to be called a pedophile, but like, has someone called Kathy a pedophile? I was very confused about this.
It's like, I feel like she maybe meant to say it a different way. Like, there are 3 things in this world that you don't want to be or something like that. But the way she
What about like
phrased
a murderer? I feel like should also be on that list.
Agreed.
Not that obviously pedophile is a horrible, horrible thing, but like, so is being a murderer. I was just a little surprised that the list ended there.
Yep. Pedophile, period.
Dot.
Oh, Kathy.
When Sutton brings up that Erica called her a see you next Tuesday, and Diana all of a sudden pipes up and says, but you kind of are one. And I got to be honest, I completely forgot Diana was in the room.
I haven't heard y'all say one thing to her about calling me a.
But why do we need to?
Yeah, you are one.
Like, until she said that, I was like, and then even then I was like, wait, who said that? Because she was kind of hidden, like sitting tucked back in the couch or in the chair. And I was like, oh shit, I thought Diana left. So it's like, that's how much she contributes.
Exactly. It's like Diana came out of nowhere saying that about Sutton. It's like she said 2 lines all episode and she felt like she had to have her moment. And it's like, you can tell this woman is trying so hard to be relevant. She's trying hard to be part of the storyline. She is jumping in places that she doesn't belong. Mm-hmm. And yes, her and Sutton have had this, you know, kind of back and forth throughout the season. But as they flash back, like Sutton has wholeheartedly apologized.
We've had a rough and rocky start, and I'm to blame for, I'm going to say 95% of it.
And that moment at Garcelle's party was so genuine. Sutton was opening up, and yet Diana refuses to accept her apology.
Yeah, it's really odd how she has latched onto this. And I wonder if when she's watching it back now, if she feels differently, but it doesn't seem like she does. It seems like she is still, you know, she's digging in her heels and saying, this woman is a menace and she is evil. And it's like, no one else is seeing that. Like, I mean, was she a little bit insensitive? Like, sure, but like she did apologize, and we've seen way worse you know, over the years. And so for her to just keep bringing it back up, it's like, Diana, talk about something else. And then poor Sutton's just sitting there taking it, you know, trying not to cry. Like, I felt bad for her.
Poor Sutton. I mean, Diana is just like going off in this rage, listing these reasons that aren't even real reasons.
I watch things, observe things, and just the way she does things is just not like, ugh.
And then using the word slithery.
Very slithery.
Calling Sutton slithery, a word that should describe Diana. That lip licking. I won't even say what I want to say, but like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit of projecting.
For sure, 100%.
But did you notice how once Diana piped in and agreed with Erica about calling Sutton a cunt, Erica was like, oh, I have a new friend. And then when Diana was leaving, she's like, oh, let me get your coat on for you. Let me get your bag for you. Let me walk you out the door.
Come on, go. It's time.
It was like, oh, Erica has totally found, you know, a new little friend who is going to, you know, agree with her, and she's going to latch on.
That duo, whew, I'm scared. I don't want them to be allies. Erica and Diana are probably 2 of the most hated Real Housewives of Beverly Hills at this moment. And them together, I think, is a recipe for complete disaster.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what comes of it, though.
Oh, always. Like, I live to see the disaster unravel.